We pick up 8 months later. Shredder is in prison, and the Turtles are being teenagers, living their life. The city is somewhat under control because Shredder's been in jail, and it's kind of business as usual.
Well, we have Casey Jones, who's joined the crew. We have a couple of bad guys who are also there. We have Bebop and Rocksteady. We have Krang, and we have Baxter Stockman. They're a little older.
They're a little older.
Oh, a couple months.
Not much older. They're a little older.
Yeah.
Not much has changed. I mean, they're still protecting the city. They're still being teenagers. And in the beginning of the film, we actually get to see how they live, which I don't really think you got to see in movie one. So we get to hang out with the brothers in this movie.
But they're in a new house.
Well, Shredder blew up their house in movie two. So we have a new lair.
Movie one.
Shredder blew up their house in movie one. So we have a new lair in movie two. And we also have a new truck. So we've brought some other new pieces to this puzzle.
Yeah.
But April is still working with them, cracking stories. And, April meets a new man in this movie, played by Stephen Amell, Casey Jones. And then he gets to meet the Turtles, which is always fun when a human gets to meet the Turtles. Well, Casey is at a crossroads in his life. He's not happy at his job. He's a corrections officer. He wants to be a police officer. He wants to be a detective. He wants to fight crime and catch the criminals. He doesn't want to keep them locked up. But that's not working out for him. And he's given a task to move Shredder from lower Manhattan to upstate New York, and he fails because Shredder gets broken out. So then Casey gets put on suspension. So now he's kind of lost. But there were two other criminals in that truck, Bebop and Rocksteady. And he thinks if he can find those two guys, maybe that would lead him to Shredder, and maybe he could redeem himself and then maybe become a cop one day. So when he's on the trail for Bebop and Rocksteady, he kind of runs right into April O'Neil. And that's how they meet. And if you're going to meet April O'Neil at night in an alley, chances are you're going to meet the Turtles, because they're there to protect her. So everyone's on a collision course. You see it coming, and of course, Turtles show up to protect April, and then Casey can't believe his eyes that he sees 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles standing behind April O'Neil. And then he joins the team, because they all have a common goal. They all want to catch Shredder and put him back in jail. So they join together. They feel like Casey can help them. And Casey, of course, reluctantly does not want to, because he still can't believe he's looking at these mutant turtles. But he really has no choice, because Raphael kind of lets him know, you're coming with us no matter what. Then, he kind of understands by the end of the movie that they are the heroes, and is really happy that he's part of the team. And then he's going to go off and handle crime his own way.
I think it's different for both of us. I love the fact that this is the first time you get to see the turtles in water. That was technologically quite a challenge, and I think you think of turtles, why not have them in water? And so
it's crazy that we've never put them in water. They're turtles.
So that whole sequence, I think, is amazing.
I think that ILM has really upped the technology from movie one to movie two, and I really think that fans or just people going to see this movie, you can actually see the emotion in the turtles' faces. I think there are shots in this movie that I look at, and I was on the set every day for filming of this film, where I'll say to Brad, I can't believe that turtle wasn't on set. I look at close-ups of some of these turtles, and I think they look so real to me. And, that technology just keeps getting better and better, that we have these motion capture actors that deliver these amazing performances. Then ILM lays a turtle over their performance, and here you are looking at Michelangelo hit the low of all lows, and it's ripping your heart out. And it's a turtle. And the technology allows the performance to come through the face, and you can really feel for these guys. And that got me very excited about what we could do in movie two.
I think that Dave, when we first sat down with him, he told us that the relationship between the brothers and the character that they each have was the most important part of the movie to him, and he really wanted to explore that. And that was very exciting to us, because I feel like we really didn't get to know the turtles as well in movie one. And I think in that respect, he succeeded tremendously, because you really do have a sense of who these turtles are and what their personality is and what makes them tick. And so it feels like now that we made the right choice.
Yeah, and people will say to us, well, the first movie he had made was like a $5 million movie, and you take him into one of these big summer tentpoles. But what Brad is saying is right. So we knew Dave would take care of that part. That's what he was focused on. And then we would surround him with the best possible people to take care of everything else that he's never done. So when you're looking at these massive action sequences that are little movies on their own, you bring in a director like Spiro Razatos, who did our prison convoy scene. He shoots all the action in the Fast and Furious movies. They have their own units. And you send him up to Buffalo for 11 nights of filming, and they're launching cars in the air, and they're doing all that amazing stuff. And you layer the character stuff in that Dave was doing into that scene, and suddenly you have an amazing action scene with humor and fun from the turtles inside the truck, and all the amazing action that Spiro can give you on the outside. So it's really just kind of putting all the pieces together and getting the best technicians that we can to help tell our story.
I think it's a couple things. First of all, they're fun to watch. I mean, they just are fun to watch, and there's a family dynamic there that I think everyone has a way in on, and they can see parts of their brothers or sisters or friends or whatever in the Turtles, so it feels very relatable. And I think also people love to laugh, and the Turtles have no problem doing whatever they can to make the audience laugh. And so they're superheroes, but they're not brooding, dark superheroes. They're kind of funny, goofy superheroes.
No, they're teenagers. Like they're kids.
Right.
And by the way, that's hard for us when we're making the movie, because we forget sometimes that they're teenagers, even though it's in the title and it's everywhere you're looking. When you're filming the movie and you're looking at the motion capture actors who obviously are not teenagers, you have to constantly remind yourself, oh my God, guys, they're 14, 15 years old. They wouldn't do that. Remember, they're teenagers, and you always have to remind yourself that. But you're looking at teenage superheroes, and they all bring something different to the party. Mikey's going to be the fun, and Raph's going to be the muscle, and Leo's going to be the leader, and Donnie's going to bring the tech, so they can all, when you put the four of them together, it is the perfect unit, And of course, in this movie, we fracture the unit, which has really never been done. So we break them apart, and two one way and two this way, and of course, they can't succeed like that. They have to come back together at the end to succeed, and that's what the movie's all about.
Listen, I think we hope that a whole family can go there and have a great experience together and just, suspend belief for an hour and 45 minutes and just smile the whole way.